is where I say welcome one and all. Welcome one and all once again to another edition of To The Point. It's Wednesday, the 5th day of October, within the year 2022. How's everybody doing? Hope all is well with you and yours this morning, wherever you are up to this morning. Bit of a rainy morning. Some areas maybe get a little bit more than other areas in terms of the rain. And we know there's a bit of a weather condition out there. And we should pay a little attention, not a little bit, but we should pay some attention to. Certainly pass on some information on that as the morning progresses within the program. And it's also another edition of Open Line on To The Point for today. No particular guest is in with us this morning, so the option is there for you, our loyal listeners and viewers, to chime in and state your views and concerns pertaining to issues. We certainly will love to entertain your phone calls. 435-2041-435. As we move on, let me say good morning to our viewers via GBN TV. Just looked around and realized we also live on GBN TV. Good morning to our viewers. Whether you're viewing via Channel 7, Channel 11, or Channels 20, good morning. Hope all is well. Also, let me say good morning to those of you via our social media platform this morning. Those of you via the Facebook page, let me say good morning to you and thanks for tuning in, and certainly all is welcome. I already see we do have a first caller with us this morning. Let's entertain this caller and see what information they do have to throw out with us this morning. Good morning to you, caller. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing well.
Yes, I'm calling concerning the legalization of marijuana. You know, sometimes we're not speaking up against those things, and we could get some reason why we should legalize it. But we know for a fact that when we legalize it, that our children, our boys and our girls, those even now the police cannot control it far more than when it is legalized. So they are saying that it's for whatever you call that, legal medical purposes, some say recreation purposes. I don't know what does that mean, because what recreation purposes and for sacramental purposes, are we crazy? I am saying that the government should not move to legalize it. It would not bring any finances to us, even revenue. Even if we get revenue from it, the damage would be far more to control or to heal than what we would receive. Have a good day.
So, caller, let me ask you this, caller. So you're totally against the legalization and decriminalization of it? You're totally against that?
Both the decriminalization and legalization. The first one said they decriminalize it. They was going to move to legalize it. This one saying they want to legalize it. We are not to be greedy. Or I'm not against the government. Get me right. I'm not against the government, against the things that will affect us, that I'm seeing in our eyes every day. I'm seeing it. Sometimes we have our beautiful, good-looking children, boys and girls, sons and daughters, uncles, aunties, whatever. Some of them, when you look at them, it's only every day to cry. When they started in the marijuana, they started to smoke it. And now, you know what happened? The harder drugs is onto it. So everything is into consideration. We should not legalize it. Don't bother about St. Vincent and the other places. They know their onions. We are Grenada. We are small countries, but we can make it. If we do the right thing, we can make it. And let the blessings of God be upon us. And stop talking about how we're going to get revenue. How we used to get it before. We have to work. That's what the Bible says.
Okay, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning.
It does not go down too good for us, but this is what we know. God.
All right. Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. And you can feel the passion in the caller's voice pertaining to that particular issue there. And I understand where she's coming from. I certainly do. Let's grab another caller this morning. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
If the poor,
Caller, it's a bit difficult listening to you. Would you please lower the radio, please?
If the poor and humble people believe that they would get a share in the marijuana wealth, they lie. Because, as you say, you would have to get a license to go and pass out to sell it or even to smoke it. or whatever you want to do with it. I would certainly believe that the smart people would put a high price on the license, maybe $20,000, so then you could plant, you could sell. I don't know, you tend to have $20,000 or even more to get a license. So you would be able to get a license. But even the poor people who think that they would get share in them, tell them I say they lie, wait and you would see. Men like the same big liars, they would get the share because they know what to do. They were able to anyhow, thank you very
caller.
much.
Thanks for your contribution this morning. 435-2041, 435-2041. We're taking your phone calls. We're taking your phone calls this morning. Talk about any issue that is of concern to you here on To The Point this morning. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. How are you?
Morning, GT.
Good
I
morning.
didn't intend to come in so early, but particularly your first caller, if she was the first caller, I think I could understand where she's coming from, but there's a lot of things that is missing in terms of our understanding. And certainly, your caller, the last caller, I agree with him in the sense that, I mean, there wouldn't be heaven for everybody in the sense that the ordinary people would hardly benefit from that. And unfortunately, this is something that countries around the world, including Kenya, I heard a candidate who was running for the presidential election in Canada say that he supports that, and that would be one of his main things. And he said that there'll be no poor people again in Kenya, which I know that is not right, that is not true. But people have to put the thing in context. The thing about it, why marijuana became illegal is through the Americans, you know.
All right.
And who they tried to affect is the African Americans who suffered a lot as a result of the banning of that, because they also wanted to benefit the newspaper person Hearst, who wanted to continue to process wood instead of hemp as per paper. It's a big history. It's complex, and people have to understand that. So even if we legalize and decriminalize marijuana, it would not be, we are told it from medical purposes.
Yes.
In addition to that, the people who would benefit are those people who bought out lands or who have, I would say, leased lands, a whole set of land in the name of another crop in recent times. They would benefit in that.
All
and
right.
people are not noticing that. So they would have the plantations. In fact, recently something coming out of Jamaica say that the Jamaican folks have been left behind, you know, because they are not reaping the benefit. And we have to understand that every so often a new commodity comes on the scene, and those who in charge and those who with power, I don't mean in empowering Grenada, those who have power, the money people, it's a one that will benefit. Israel and America, for instance, for years been doing research while they've been persecuting ordinary people. In fact, to the ladies, America spent for 3 decades, spending over $3 trillion on war on drugs, and they have nothing to show at this point in time.
All right.
So we have to also look at the other things that are legalized that are causing even greater harm to our people. I'm not advocating anything. I'm saying we need to have a broader understanding.
Give me a 10 seconds, go and wrap up.
I'm finishing now. I'm finished.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. 435-2041. 435-2041. Seems to be a touchy subject. You know, sometimes I tend to stay away from it because I do have my own personal views pertaining to that. And, you know, sometimes I tend to shy away from expressing it publicly. So let's take another caller. Caller, good morning, and how are you?
Good morning. All right, and you?
Doing pretty well. Doing well.
No, the two callers that called, gentlemen that called concerning the beneficiaries, they're sure right. The big shots they will benefit, not these little poor people, they will benefit in the health destroying. So they better be careful and think about it. Fella. Bye.
Thank you for your contribution there, caller. 435-2041. 435. There's always going to be mixed reviews pertaining to this particular issue. I just foresee that happening. You know, lots of folks are going to think, well, who should benefit and who shouldn't benefit from the legalization or maybe discriminalization of marijuana. And more of the legalization part of it, I think that's where the issue is going to come in. But it's going to be it's an issue that's going to be have lots of debate in time to come. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Mr. Tellison. How are you, sir?
Doing good, sir.
Okay. Well, Mr. Tellison, I hope that they're going to build back the Carlton home as quick as possible because more people are going to smoke marijuana now because it's easier to smoke.
All right.
So, yeah. And also, I think the best thing for us in Grenada to go back and plant our regular crops. Nutmeg, cocoa, bananas. Because with the marijuana, every country going and plant marijuana, what you going to get out of it when everybody planting the same thing? Not everybody has spices. So let's go back and plant our spices. We're going to make more money from spices. Because Jamaica planting, St. Vincent planting, St. Lucia planting, Africa planting, Canada planting, America planting, everybody planting marijuana. But not everybody planting food, spices, and all those kind of things. Those things grow very good in Grenada. Let's go back and start planting those things and forget this big set of marijuana because in St. Vincent, over $100,000 for a license, you know. For the big people who have it over $100,000, I telling you because I know people that came here before and they didn't get through here and they go to St. Vincent and they're paying over $100,000 for a license a year.
All right, cool. Thank you for your contribution this morning. I am almost of the opinion that, you know, when most of the countries come together and start the issue of the legalization or the decriminalization of marijuana, it's going to come around where all countries going to become like with a sense of, you know, like roadside vendors, countries per se. Everybody trying to hustle, selling the same product. That's what I foresee it coming to be like pretty soon. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Tellisford. Greetings. How are you?
Doing good. How are you doing this morning?
Listen, I like the way that conversation is going, and I like the thinking of the people who have so far expressed themselves. I agree with them fully. Let's get something straight, and I'm saying something here this morning, Mr. Tellisford. And I wish people understand and pay attention to what is happening outside there in this world. Within the next 2 years, there shall be a world war. Listen to me. I don't have any crystal ball. But the history I've studied, we're heading towards a major world conflict right now as we speak. Therefore, what we have to do in this here country is to produce food and more products that we can export where possible to make money. Let this weed thing stay. Look, the greatest confusion you can imagine, Mr. Tellisford, I have so much passion on this because I used to smoke. At the same time, I used to drink. You can imagine if we legalize weed in this here country for whatever purpose, because there was only an excuse. And the reasons have been expressed prior. You can imagine it. Check that confusion out, my dear brother. That's devastation for the people of this here country. We say no to weed. If they want to legalize, we want a plebiscite on it. Let the people decide through a referendum.
Thank you, sir.
Have a nice day, will you?
You too. All right. 435-2041. It's always a passionate conversation, always an interesting conversation also when you hear individuals speak about that. And, you know, I sometimes in conversation with individuals who seem to want the legalization of marijuana. And sometimes I have the tendency not to want to get too deep into the conversation with it because then he always turns around to be an argument afterwards. Let's go back to the phone line. Good morning to you, caller. How are you?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. This subject that has been discussed, this is what I am praying against for a while. Because I recognize spiritually we are in a period of darkness where Satan is engulfing the planet more than he was before because the end is near. And we as a people who profess godliness, profess that we are conscious of God, we are opening ourselves to the devil and to his acts and practices and what he do. We have to realize we have two forces in the world, forces of good and evil. We have force of evil, and that comes from Satan. And the Bible said that he will come like an angel of light to deceive even the very elect, if that was possible. So we cannot just do things in this nation as a little 133 square miles. Whatever other countries do, we want to do. We don't have to do that.
All right.
Legalizing marijuana will destroy our people, especially the youth that we are saying, because Satan uses that thing to destroy people. When I was a student of St. George's University, we went to the Monday Hospital on a visit. The doctor who was there, whose name I don't remember now, he told our group that the number of chemicals in marijuana that are medicinal is far, far, far less than the destructive element that is in it. And so there is no need.
Take another 10 seconds, caller. Take another 10 seconds and wrap.
To legalize marijuana or to decriminalize it. Because look at our young people that are destroying already, and doing it will destroy more of them.
All right. Thank you for your contribution this morning, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. I say again, sometimes it gets down to the issue where folks maybe spread their imagination too wide. And I always find people more look at the negative repercussions of, folks using the herb or whatever name you want to give it. And some folks may say it have negative influence, some folks may say positive influence. But let's sometimes outweigh the positive side of it and see how that works out. I hope I'm not stirring up any debate pertaining to that. Let's go back to the phone line and see what this caller has to contribute. Good morning to you, caller. How are you?
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I'm good. I want to make a contribution as it relates to a question of decriminalization or legalization of marijuana. I think it is backward without any scientific information, let us say for the last 20 years. Mm-hmm. Even to do autopsy on folks who would have used marijuana regularly and they would have died. Okay, now our health system is in disarray. This is a third world country. If the use of marijuana is proliferated, it simply means more people will have access, people will experiment, and people are going to use it. Mm-hmm. Now, have we studied what will be the socioeconomic impact? What will be the health impact? I think we need a national conversation, especially people from the medical community, not lawyers. In that aspect, I need scientific data that is irrefutable. And, don't make statements and pass legislation and to mystify and deceive the youth. Think about 20 years from now. Think what would happen if, let us say, about 2/3 of our population begin to use marijuana. Okay, what will happen? Marijuana has medicinal properties, and as a result of this, for example, you and I may have a same complaint and prescribe the same medication by the same doctor, and I can prove that, and that has been proven. The side effect on the medication prescribed for you and I are different because of how we are structured biologically. These factors must be considered instead of politicians talking so much garbage in order to get votes. Thanks and good morning.
Thank you so much for your contribution this morning, caller. We due for a break. Let's take it. We come back more with this conversation this morning. Certainly it's an interesting one. We're coming right back.
Grenada. Imagine winning $25,000 and up to 6 times by scratching just one Later ticket. Get your triple cash scratch tickets for a chance to live your best life. Win easy with Scratch. For just $3, match any of your numbers to any of the winning numbers and win the prize shown for that number. Reveal a money back symbol and win the prize instantly. Triple cash scratch in stores now. Must be 18 or older to play.
Cause I'm a winner. From the moment that I get up, I'm feeling right.
Don't miss the new season of Interesting Grenadians on GBN TV and social media platforms from Wednesday, October 12th at 8 p.m. and every Wednesday until November 9th, featuring the Anya Chow Chung story, the Richard Duncan story, and lots more. It's Interesting Grenadians, celebrating our interesting and outstanding Grenadians at home and abroad. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on GBN, beginning October 12th. You won't want to miss it.
jingle coming soon to all GBN platforms.
Get the protection needed for your eyes only at Quartz Optical. Trade in and save up to 35% off your lens purchase, plus a free eye exam. Payment plans available from 3 to 24 months. Book your appointment today online at www.quartzoptical.com. For your eyes only. Trade in your old glasses and save up to 35% off your lenses only at Quartz Optical. Value you can see. Special conditions apply.
Hey, let me say welcome back to our listeners and viewers this morning. We started off with a touchy subject this morning, if I could describe it in that particular way. And I take, of course, some pointers from our last caller who said, folks using various, substance per se will have different effect. It's like, someone would take a Panadol. Let's just use this as a typical example. And it may solve your headache. And you would go along with your daily, of course, chores, what you have to do because that worked for you. And there may be someone else who may take that same drug, as we refer to it as a Panadol, or whatever you want to refer to it as, and may not have the same result, per se. So it varies. And I think, as the caller alluded to, lots more in terms of professional studies supposed to be in. Scientific, study per se of the repercussions of using it. It should be we give it out more than if folks just want to do it for the fun of it, if I could put it in those terms. Let's go to the phone line and take a call in this segment. Caller, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Now, what I want to say is this. The legalization of marijuana in Grenada, as I know Grenada to be, is a highly controversial issue. And I think this move has been employed mainly as a political ploy, but it has to be fulfilled. Now, we need to know that marijuana is a family of herbs. Mm-hmm. Every marijuana plant is not the same. And the non-medicinal marijuana has a toxin that is very dangerous to human health.
Interesting.
I'm not certain that Grenadians know the difference between the medicinal and the non-medicinal type. And the type of people who indulge in the smoking of marijuana here in Grenada, I'm not quite certain that the majority of them are highly educated people. And I believe we have to look at the sociological impact of that move. When this thing can be grown by almost anybody and propagated here, there, and everywhere, we may have to have special institutions to deal with mentally deranged individuals. We may be destroying our society. I have a great fear of the consequences. Thank you.
Thank you, caller, also. 4352041. And another issue there has come to light, because this caller is saying there are different types, per se, of marijuana, and not all may have the medicinal use, per se, and some maybe just the raw stuff, because he's saying there are types for different purposes, per se, and not some are toxic. And interesting. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Yes, sir.
Good morning. Go right ahead.
You there?
Yes, sir. Be brief. Go right ahead.
I would be very glad if we have more insane people in Grenada. But I personally was out of it. When we have more insane people, I guess we'll have more killings, so we have to build more institutions. I guess we'll have more fighting, more this and that all over the country. Because some people may feel that they get more intelligent because they're on a height. They're on a height and they could think better. Imagine we have, as you say, so-called educated people in Grenada. And yet, we have so many people destroying one another. They're stealing the dish, they're doing all kind of things. Tell me something. When you get on a height with these drugs, whether it's the legal one or the illegal one, or the one that have medical properties, then the doctors would be glad. I would be glad if I am a doctor, because more money coming into my pocket.
Thank you so much, caller. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I understand the direction you're going at. Good morning and thanks again. 435-2041, 435-2041. And we move on. Hey, let's continue. Good morning to Carl Thompson. You're on my case again. Good morning to you. Hope you are, of course, are happy than any other thing else that we're doing this morning. Go right ahead. Good morning to you, caller. Caller, good morning. How are you?
Yes, good morning, Mr. Telesford. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good.
All right. Mr. Telesford, I want to share a little experience regarding the marijuana topic. Now, I'm not a smoker. I'm not a drinker.
Mm-hmm.
But I had the opportunity through my employer from Toronto to travel quite a bit. And we went to Israel very regular. And they would show us the same Grenada marijuana was illegal and was just start coming in and people hiding and so on. When the guy from Jamaica says the healing of the nation. However, they showed, I saw with my eyes, that you see how you're looking at the ocean according to where you're located? Even if you're passing on the Lagoon Road, you see the ocean. They show us this is where the marijuana grow, and this was one place. That whole place is cultivated with marijuana only, they showed us. And nobody goes there and pick it, except in the harvesting time. And they told us that this marijuana only pick when they harvesting time, and they sell it to the pharmaceutical company. Now, I haven't seen anybody in my traveling there, people smoking on the street, and I don't know, I haven't seen.
Mm-hmm.
And the marijuana has been growing in that place maybe forever, but it's sold to the pharmaceutical company only. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. 435-2041, 435-2041. That's a number to be part of To The Point for today. And healthy discussion this morning on marijuana, whether the legalization or, of course, the decriminalization of it. And folks are having various views on it this morning. Good morning to you, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, sir. What I would like to see the government do before they actually legalize the marijuana is to have the same law in place for any marijuana who coming in from other countries, because remember, we industry don't big up as yet, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So even though you legalize it, the farmers still have to plant and so on before we could have this industry. And what you go find now, you know, just like how you have farmers now who have nutmeg land and the bungary one or another, you will find this farmer have a land with let's say like with nutmeg or banana, and you will find he might have let's say about 10 trees of nutmeg, and another farmer might have maybe about 20. But you find the nutmeg he gaining, he go have in his bag is more than what the 10 tree produce. So that's why I'm saying now, you go find fellas might planting marijuana down here, like buoy, not really strong marijuana, maybe about 10 trees, and they go still importing from, let's say, from St. Vincent, who really have the industry already. So that go bring a strain, he ain't go benefit Grenada, the farmers really. They go be still importing heavy. So the government had to put a ban on anybody they hold out of sea with marijuana, charge them the same way, right, that they have in charging now. But if you plant and you're able to prove to the police and them that you plant and you're selling your marijuana down here and thing,
you get a big up on it. They don't
So,
do
caller,
anything.
let me ask you this. Are you for the legalization of marijuana in Grenada?
Yes, because you see, it create a problem. Fellas have to hide when you legalize the marijuana. Fellas don't have to hide much. It's the same thing. People don't crying down the cigarette and thing. Look, people smoking cigarette all over. They drinking rum and getting on. What I notice with marijuana can have if you drink like a 8 rum and you smoke a marijuana, it calm you down. But rum make you kind of get excited, you get on and so on. But marijuana is a blend.
Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. Thank you so much for your contribution. 435-2041, 435. And pretty soon I'll take a couple of minutes and go over to the Facebook page. May not be reading Carl's, comments. He seems to always be on my case every morning. It's kind of getting to me now. And, of course, see if we could entertain some of the comments via the Facebook page. But let's grab another caller this morning. Caller, good morning. How are you?
I beg your indulgences for half a minute, Mr. Telesphone.
Go right ahead.
The statement made by the last shop there is interesting. That is why, if we were to introduce this thing, Grenada will stall. When you smoke weed, you can't work. You hear me? Tested and proven. Not tried and tested, tested and proven. When you smoke weed, you can't work. Now hear this, Mr. Telesphone. This is just a curious one at the end. Last week, Tuesday, with all alacrity, your guest to the nation said the following. I am happy to introduce these products of the NLA today. And I'm happy because it is only today, for the first time, the NLA would have paid out $1 million, the largest payment in prizes. By the way, I had to move away from the radio. So, my question is, did you get an opportunity to find out why the NLA hadn't paid out that money? Just curiosity to set people thinking. Have a nice day. Will you, Mr. Telesphone?
You too, sir. Have a good day. We due for our second break in the program. Let's take it. Then when we come back, we entertain more of your phone calls here on To The Point for today. We're coming right back.
Notices.
Did you know that the National Policy on Sports and Physical Activity will project a new vision for sports and physical activity in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique? The Ministry of Education, Youth, Sports and Culture will commence a series of consultations with its stakeholders starting Thursday, October 6th in the parish of St. John at the St. John's Anglican Primary School to highlight the focal areas contained in the policy. The National Policy on Sports and Physical Activity will also play a major role in the transformation agenda of government and will see the formation of a National Sports Council and the parish councils in every parish. Your recommendations are needed to ensure that the policy is implemented seamlessly. Attend the consultations in your parish and get involved.
Don't miss the new season of Interesting Grenadians on GBN TV and social media platforms from Wednesday, October 12th at 8 p.m. and every Wednesday until November 9th, featuring the Anya Chow Chung story, the Richard Duncan story, and lots more. It's Interesting Grenadians, celebrating our interesting and outstanding Grenadians at home and abroad. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on GBN, beginning October 12th. You won't want to miss it.
MegaFest 2022 Gospel Explosion is finally here. Join the youth of the Grenada Conference of Seventh-day Adventists under the green and white tent at Progress Park in St. Andrews from Sunday, October 9th to the 29th at 7 p.m. and continuing nightly for an electrifying evangelistic experience like no other. Come hear the ever-exhilarating Pastor Oliver Scott shatter the kingdom of darkness with thundering messages from the Word of God. If you ever needed the Lord before, we sure do need Him now. Come find hope in the midst of your pain. See you there.
Paying is faster and easier with Flow FastPay. Use your MasterCard or Visa.
So we're back with you this morning here on To The Point for today, Wednesday, the 5th of October. Healthy debate this morning pertaining to marijuana and, of course, whether it will be legalized or decriminalized here in Grenada. And let's take a few of the comments via the Facebook comment section this morning. A lot seem to be a healthy debate going on there. Let me just get some of the comments in, and I will certainly be entertaining some of the phone calls shortly. And here is Ernesto, always seem to have an interesting comment to make. I live in NYC, and marijuana being legalized, and it's the most abuse I've ever seen of marijuana. I saw more young people smoking marijuana on the train, the buses, as young as 13 years old. Even when you're coming to the train on one side, there are vendors selling marijuana, and amazing to see the police is in close proximity and can't do anything. And worst of all, school children have their little table selling marijuana. Sad. I certainly hope, that the explanation gave there by UNESCO, we hope that we don't get to that level here in Grenada at all. Certainly hope we don't get where folks are just, getting the option of just being able to just put a table outside their house or anywhere theirs and just be selling it. I doubt that will actually happen. Let's go to the phone line. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Hi, good morning to you and to your followers. It is very disturbing when I hear people speak about the potential of marijuana to transform the economy of this country. I mean, we are not even able to feed ourselves. And I continue to say that until and unless marijuana becomes categorized as a food, I don't see the merit in that. We're going to go and compete with everybody else out there in the market. And some folks are saying everybody else out there is doing it already. So why do we need to get ourselves in this competitive situation? Who is competing to provide food for us? We're importing food that we can grow. Even when there is mango in season, we're importing mango juice from South Africa. It's in the supermarket. There are things which are more easily done with lower risk than trying this pie in the sky idea that we're going to make money out of marijuana. Why don't we make money from food? Why don't we export food? Why don't we stop importing chicken in the millions and hundreds of millions of dollars? Alcohol is legal. We don't even have a home in Grenada to take care of those who abuse alcohol. They all end up in the crazy house. And I could tell you, the chances of marijuana affecting people in that sort of psychotic way is greater than for alcohol. It takes a long time for somebody to drink alcohol to end up there. But where is Carlton home? There is not a place. I mean, we are creating a social problem for our country. We don't even understand it. So please, the people who try to sell this idea that they're going to make us rich, please, desist from saying this kind of thing. That's not true. And let us try to focus, as Brother Rollo spoke about, the potential of war and the inability. Look at the cost of shipping. Look at what a war in Ukraine is costing us in terms of everything. Let us try to feed ourselves. Let's try to be self-sufficient. If marijuana is a food and we want to become self-sufficient in feeding ourselves on marijuana, great. I'm on that bandwagon. But until and unless it becomes a food, I do not see the benefits. I don't see the merit in trying to export it, and I don't see the merit in trying to decriminalize or legalize it in our country, because we do not have the facilities to take care even of our alcoholics, far less our drug addicts. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir, for your comment this morning. 435-2041. Let's go back to the Facebook page this morning, and I'm seeing, of course, an individual with the name AJ Langji is saying marijuana has been legalized in Canada for a few years now. I have seen no change in its use. Even seen a marijuana store in the shopping mall. No issues relating to the use of marijuana after the legalization there, and he's talking about in Canada. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Telford. How are you today, sir?
Not bad. How are you?
I'm pretty good for the time, sir. Mr. Telford, I have a different topic. But I want to say about the marijuana. Some people, it helps some people it do them bad. Right? And when we beat up on the marijuana, we know it is an illegal drug, but we must beat up on the alcohol because it destroys a lot of family in Grenada. We don't talk about that.
I agree.
But we just they just keep doing it, and it destroys family, and nobody complains. My substance point is that what I realized in Grenada, people don't buy local. They want local. I'll tell you why I say that. I just produce local fowls, right? And Mr. Telford, I would beg people to buy a fowl for me. I would beg people to buy the eggs, and they would never buy. They go into the market and get the chicken from overseas, and all come Mickey Mouse thing. I think we should think more local and deal with local. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
I agree with you, caller. Have a good day yourself. 435-2041, 435-2041. And then the caller is correct by saying that. We sometimes seem to be more foreign-minded than, of course, for our own local stuff. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. Welcome. How are you?
Yeah, Mr. Telford, I think we should take the conversation that is ongoing in a serious way, in the sense that everybody bringing something to the table. But what we need to do is to weigh what are practical and what are useful. Because, I mean, years ago we were told that tourism is a solution for us. We have seen where it brought us. It has really devastated the environment, and we have created new forms of slaves. And we're still trying to find the heaven of tourism. That is one. The other thing about that, we've been encouraged to have faith in modern medicine. And we're seeing, in spite of all the use of modern medicine, the amount of sick people we have in this country. So I think we need to have a comprehensive conversation. We need to ask ourselves the question at the moment, in spite of the fact that marijuana, for instance, is illegal. Why it is that it is so widely available? Aren't we a hypocrite? So we need to really discuss the thing in deep way. About in 2021, I think there was a conversation, or 2020, involving the church, non-state, and the government about this thing. The then minister, Peter Davis, was one of the persons that addressed the gathering, and they were supposed to take the thing deeper. It is, I think, the result is on YouTube. People could find. I mean, well, deep the conversation. It should have been deepening, but you see, we had to take the emotion out of this, and let's deal with the facts. Let's deal with what are the possibilities? What are the things? At the moment, I'm being affected by cigarettes more than marijuana, in the sense that people pollute me all the time with the cigarettes. I mean, it's not as very often with the marijuana smokers. I'm not trying to justify marijuana. So we need to address all these things. People say also about the alcohol take a longer time. What is the impact on family life? People now absentee at work, all kinds of things. These things are very serious, and we should take it in stride and try to find a way where we could create a society where people don't need to go in those directions where they find solace in some kind of substance.
Okay, caller. Thank you once again. Thank you once again for your contribution this morning. 435-2041. 15 minutes moving up before the top 10. We wrapped the show up at 10 a.m. this morning. Seemed to be a heavy discussion this morning on marijuana here on To The Point this morning. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Telford. How are you?
Doing good.
Yeah, Mr. Telford. My idea about marijuana is very dangerous for the public. Now you'll have schools closing because children will be involved. They will not learn the lesson because you can't sell that. You understand me? So it don't make sense to take up legalizing that.
All right.
It will cause other damages too.
Okay.
For instance, I have a son that smoke marijuana, and all I could talk to him again. And when he smoked that, he'll lick me down. You cannot speak to him when you close to him because when you have to talk to him, he's them full letter what he does give me.
All right.
It's his money he work for. You understand?
All right.
And it's not nice that anybody should think of legalizing that. We need other things here than that. I grew up as a child in front of a sugar factory in Montreal. We need a sugar factory, not a rum factory and tobacco factory. Very often sugar is scarce. Would you give children marijuana dust to smoke, to make tea? Or cigarette dust? Just drinking tea? No. You want sugar. Instead of all the hotels, get an investor to invest in our factory.
All right, caller. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. Okay. Thank you so much. 445-2041. 445-2041. That's a number to be part of To The Point for this morning. And it's an open line segment today, which means, we don't have to diverge totally on the marijuana conversation. It seems to be the dominant, of course, in terms of what we be talking about this morning. But folks should always divert to something else, and we can talk about that also. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, and you have a great day. Now, marijuana have to be the topic. Let me tell you something. The government, past, present, are looking for money. It's not really that they want to go into marijuana production, but that is the only fast way they see they can raise revenue to turn around the economy. You know why? Because the economy had not been growing over many, many years. Remember, our population is 110 persons, not adults. So when you minus the youth, what you're left with? You have to minus the elderly. We doesn't have much export. So it's import that is funding through foreign remittances. And the only thing that I believe the government can see right now, immediate, is the marijuana. And if they succeed with that, maybe for a limited time, maybe for 1 or 2 years, and let's legislate to get it out again, just to raise the money to jumpstart the economy. Because no one is talking about what strategy do you use now, in the absence of marijuana, to grow the economy, to create immediate funds. And let me tell you something. It has to be infrastructure, and that's what we done a long time ago, to create new areas of commerce. Infrastructure is going to take real estate, which will create a massive upsurge in revenue. They're going to create manufacturing, tourism, and the rest. Those are the areas we have to go, and those are what we have to talk about. Not condemn the marijuana, which to me might be the only way out right now, but we don't have nothing to replace it. This is a language we are supposed to speak many, many years ago. But when you listen to people make their contribution, no one has an idea of what do we do. But you condemn. I want to hear it. We all stop condemning and propose things that the government could do to turn around the economy in the present situation other than focusing on marijuana. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you for your contribution this morning, caller. Let's go to the WhatsApp this morning and see what some of the comments there. And someone is making a comment just saying, on the issue of marijuana, I believe it must be carefully researched so that and that a very informed decision can be made, and not to make a everlasting one, or I'm assuming that's what the direction they're going, everlasting one that will ruin the lives of many. We in Grenada have to make a wise decision on the issue of marijuana. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning and welcome. Good morning to you, caller.
Good morning, brother. How are you doing?
Doing good.
You know, in life, right, there is listen to carefully, in life there is people that there are leaders, born leaders, right? They are born followers, and there are people that's making up time with us here, waiting to die, right? No, we're talking about this mistake. Weed is good, right? But you don't understand the level of your people. If you legalize weed in this country here, you have a bunch of young people sitting down all day and they're smoking, doing nothing, right? You don't understand your people. And Grenadians don't reach at the level yet to have them sit down smoking all day. And the productive sector will be done announced. So legalizing weed in this country is a no-no for me, because I know what's going to happen. My brothers and sisters will be sitting down all day smoking weed. Because in New York, at this time right now, weed shops in New York are the busiest. Young people going to sit and smoke for the whole day. In and out smoking for the whole day. No production. And then the crime is going to come in. When somebody's high, they want to get, and they're angry. They want to do something wrong. Let's look at right now. They have this thing what you call the hookah thing. All all our young girls, when they go to a house party or they go, you see they're smoking hookah. Because to them, smoking is a good thing. They want to smoke.
But caller, I'm getting the assumption that where folks are basing Grenada situation as it's going to happen like what's happening in other parts of the world, and I don't think that's what the issue is. If it's an abuse in the U.S., doesn't mean the necessary of abuse is going to happen here in Grenada, as we so feel.
You think so? You think so?
I still believe. I stand to be corrected about it, but I don't think, that it's going to happen at that level. You understand?
Level.
Because where you see it's abused, and as someone made a comment a while ago in terms of how they see it's been used, and students been using it, and folks are just selling it widely, and folks are getting you're losing their minds because of use. But I still don't think it's going to get to that level here in this country. If it is, if it ever happens.
The guys I went to school with, right, and they were talented guys, bright guys, and they started smoking that weed, and now they're on the street. So you can say that, yeah. But I'm saying I see it in my own eyes already. I'm not saying that weed is not good, weed have its purpose. But I'm just saying that based on your people, what they're thinking. Let's look at that bingo. Just look at that bingo. What people thinking? Someone came and paid the light bill, they come play in. But they're going to try to win a car. So how do you put gas in a car? That's how we think, bro. So you don't understand.
But there was option also to win some money. So I guess they maybe will focus on the money part. Not
well, I know when they have $100,000, they're not going. They want the car.
I understand. Anyway, caller, thanks for your contribution, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. 435-2041. 435-2041. It's to the point for today. It's an open line today, and I know of course, the conversations marijuana seem to have dominated the entire conversation this morning. For some reason, the other folks just seem to be very interesting in that particular topic this morning more than anything else that is happening. There's a weather condition out there and so forth. Folks seem to not pay much attention to that, but marijuana seems to have dominated the scene. We drew for a break inside this segment. Let's take a break. We're coming back, and that should be the final segment of the program for today. We're coming right back. Don't touch your dial.
Paying is faster and easier with Blow FastPay. Use your MasterCard or Visa and pay from anywhere. Log on to discoverflow.co/FastPay and press Consumer. Select your country and enter your account number. Enter the amount to be paid and an email address. Enter your credit card information. You'll receive a payment confirmation with the transaction details, along with a receipt to your email address. It's fast, safe, and easy. Blow, keeping you connected.
Island Style is having a massive pre-Christmas clearance sale. Before you hear, ho, 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 these styles need to go, go, go. We're cleaning out our old stock to bring in the new. Yes. Amazing discounts of up to 60% off on select tile models store-wide. I love Christmas. Yes, you heard right. Lowest prices ever at Island Style on ceramic and porcelain tiles. Our Santa stylers are waiting to help you save big on these fabulous deals. It won't get any better than this. Visit Island Style on Monroe Road in Grandad's or call 439-TILE. That's 439-8453. Sail on while stocks last. When you think tile, think Island Style. Yeah.
Welcome back to our final segment of To The Point for today. And just around 7 minutes or so left on the program this morning. Let's go back to the phone line and see what this caller has to contribute this morning. Good morning to you, caller.
Hi, good morning. We are talking about marijuana production. But we have so much lands. As you walk around, you see so much unoccupied lands, just high woods. Could we encourage the owners of the land to walk the land and train people to walk, not as those that walk on the road just from 1 hour and then they gone home. You have to train people properly to walk the agricultural land. And perhaps if we do that, we'll have more food to eat, more vegetables and whatnot.
All right, cool.
Because there are lots of unoccupied land just on high woods.
All right, caller. Thank you for your contribution.
And what is worse, some of these lands, when the trees fall in other people's land, the persons cannot go in their land because the road is blocked. So if you could encourage people to walk their land or sell it if you don't want it or something. Thank you very much.
Thank you also for contributing this morning. 435-2041, 435-2041. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Hello.
Good morning, caller. Welcome. Good morning to you, caller. I think the caller is not listening via the telephone. 435-2041. It's pretty noisy in his background. Probably rain in his neck of the woods. There for some reason or the other. Let's go back to the phone line once again. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Telesford, briefly, just the chap that called in earlier who spoke of Grenadians not buying local and so on, and he wishes to sell his birds and eggs and so on. I yearn for a good yard for properly grown, clean and so on. Please contact me at 231 John Repeat, 231-5646.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right. So you probably just got a customer there, caller. 435-2041, 435-2041. Let's take another caller. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, we don't even have sugar in our country. We don't even making sugar. The green cane is rum they're starting to make. And they're talking about marijuana. Marijuana go kill people in Grenada too much.
All right, caller.
Because some of them, they going in the mental place already and it's not for them. We need to plant food, not marijuana.
All right. Thank you for your contribution this morning. All right. 435-2041, 435-2041. Well, not much time to change the nature of the conversation this morning. Folks seem to be have a special interest in talking about that. I've tried a couple of times to try to get a different perspective to, of course, in terms of the conversation this morning. But everyone seemed to be, marijuana seemed to be the dominant conversation this morning. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes,
I just want to express thanks to the lady who called on behalf of the Woburn Bus Association concerning the Pong Road yesterday. I didn't hear it, but somebody told me about that. And I just want to express my thanks to her, my gratitude for acting on our behalf, because what the Pong Road are doing is real heart-wrenching. And we're tired and we're fed up. I don't know if the authorities should look into that, because if we spend hours in the back here to get a load, but they're coming in the line, they're getting their load, and they go, nobody to hammer them. Yet for they would pass and take the people off the bay and from the bus and send them down there and, keep us back in the line. And that is not good enough. Somebody has to look into that. We're tired. I just want to say thanks to the lady.
All right.
I don't know if she knows who she is.
All right. So that caller is talking there. So a bit of a change in the conversation this morning in terms of the issue with the buses who are pounding the road, as they like to call it. I hope that problem gets solved sooner or later. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Yeah. We have to look into the future. And when we look into the future, maybe I can advise the youths, those sane ones, to prepare themselves more in the medical field. Because to me, once we said the same marijuana helps you cure, it's good, it's a medical something. So then once you go into the medical field, you'll get plenty work, because you have a tendency to have more mentally ill patients in the country and maybe in the world. In fact, I want you to carry out a poll and see how many people for marijuana or against marijuana, and then we'll possibly know what to do. Not even we. Maybe the potential politician would know how to plan for the future, so that when they campaign, they know what to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you also, caller, for participating this morning. It's to the point, just how much we have time we do have left, just 2 minutes or so left on the program this morning. We can probably entertain another caller or two and move on here. Let's take this caller. Caller, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I just called to say this because what I observe is that sometimes we do things and we more think about the dollars and cents at first sight. But I think it's important that we look at it, beyond that. Because while, yes, a lot of people might be clamoring for the decriminalization of marijuana, but I feel there is plenty more things that are important than planting marijuana.
All right.
After we had Ivan, the devastation of the nutmeg plantation, and a lot of other crops, and the place just growing up in high woods. Our importation bill is real high. I believe one of the most important things is that we cultivate our lands, produce things that we can feed ourselves, and also export, because you're talking about marijuana, people hungry.
Caller, let me ask you this. What is one of those long-term or short-term crops you would like to see a lot of emphasis being put into? Of course, you speak a lot about the wastelands and lands that are woody. And there's a short-term crop that you know that would either benefit this country as a whole, or there's a long-term crop and that would soon. What are those crops you have in mind that you think may help?
I believe that we can get back into nutmeg production on a large scale. In terms of the short-term crop, we can plant lots of cassava, potatoes, because those things is, let me say potatoes is within 4 months. Cassava will take you to about 9 months.
Yes.
And if we can, because you can preserve, let me say like the cassava, the potatoes, you can get it in a short space of time, and you can have that like immediate food. So I believe that we can do that.
Right.
So I think we should first give those things priority. I will just give you one little instance. Like, I am a farmer. I bought in excess of 300 pots to cover my plants whenever I have to do any spraying or so. The guys who planted marijuana take everything.
All right.
They thief all. So then when we go and legalize this, it will just create confusion. And I believe that our country is too small for these things. And I believe that we need to retrain our people, because, our present states, if we continue like that, we ain't going nowhere. We have to retrain our people. We have to train our people to produce. This thing like on the road, an hour and a half, they would come on the farm. When they talk about the farm labor, they want to spend 2 hours, and they would give you at least about maybe quarter in what your regular worker would give you. And they go on leaving your worker there. I believe that is double standard. We can't do that.
All right. Thank you so much, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning, caller. Thank you so much. Hey, folks, that's what we're going to take a wrap for today's program. A pleasure as always for all who called in and contributed some way or the other. Thank you so much. Join us again for another edition tomorrow of To The Point. Have yourself a blessed day, one and all.